1. Breathe with awareness. In the rush of modern life, we often forget the most faithful companion we have, our breath. It asks nothing, demands nothing, and yet it carries us through every moment of our lives. From the first cry at birth to the final exhale, the breath is constant. And yet, we rarely pay attention to it. To breathe with awareness is to reconnect with the most immediate part of our being, the one that is always here, patiently waiting for us to notice. When we pause and observe the breath, we are not adding anything new to our lives. We are stripping away distraction. Inhale gently. Feel the air entering your body, expanding your lungs, lifting your chest. Then exhale and feel how the body softens, how the shoulders drop, how tension begins to dissolve. There's nothing mystical in this act. It is the simplest form of presence, the most accessible path back to ourselves. Awareness does not mean thinking about the breath. It means feeling it, being with it, letting go of the need to control or judge it. Just watching, like you would observe a river flowing or the wind moving through trees. Let the breath be as it is. Let it teach you. As you practice, you may notice the mind wanting to pull you away. That is its habit, to move toward the past, to imagine the future, to solve problems that do not yet exist. The breath, on the other hand, exists only now. And so by returning to the breath, we return to the present. We create a gap in the stream of thoughts, and in that gap, peace can arise. Monks in the forest often teach their students this way. Follow one full breath. Just one. If you can be fully present for one complete inhale and one complete exhale, you have touched the essence of mindfulness. It is not about duration or effort. It is about sincerity, depth, the willingness to be still, if only for a moment. You may find that the breath changes as you watch it. At first, it might be shallow, irregular, rushed. That is okay. With time, it softens. It deepens. Not because you force it, but because the body remembers how to relax when the mind stops interfering. The breath becomes a mirror. It shows you how you are, not how you think you are. This simple practice, to breathe with awareness, is the root of many spiritual paths. Before mantras, before prayers, before philosophies, there is breath. Before right or wrong, before busy or bored, before pleasure or pain, there is breath. It connects all beings, all moments, all things. When life feels overwhelming, when emotions seem too strong, when decisions cloud your heart, return to the breath. Not as an escape, but as a foundation. Anchor yourself. Let each breath be a reminder. You are alive and you are here. That is enough. And remember, this practice is always available. You do not need a cushion or a quiet room or a perfect mood. You just need a moment, one breath, fully lived. That's the doorway. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. And slowly, the breath becomes not just something you notice during meditation, but something you carry with awareness throughout the day, while walking, while eating, while speaking, while listening. You live not as someone constantly swept away by thoughts, but as someone grounded, breathing, present. There is wisdom in every breath, peace in every exhale. And if you listen closely, you may hear the silence underneath it all, a stillness that has always been there, waiting, holding you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Be here. ***2. Let go of what you cannot control. There are things in life that no matter how much we wish, fight, or plan, remain beyond our influence. The weather changes without our permission. People we love grow distant or make choices we wouldn't. The body ages, time passes, and sometimes, even with all our efforts, outcomes turn out differently than we hoped. And yet, we often exhaust ourselves trying to hold the reins of everything around us. We grip tightly, hoping that with enough pressure, the world will behave the way we want, but it doesn't, and it never will. To let go of what you cannot Control is not an act of giving up. It is an act of wisdom. It is recognizing the boundary between what is yours to tend, your words, your actions, your attitude, and what belongs to the universe, to the seasons of life, to the hearts and minds of others. Picture a tree. It grows upward, strong and grounded, but it does not try to command the wind. When the storm comes, the tree bends. It moves with what it cannot change, and because of this, it survives. Its power is not in resistance, but in surrender, in flexibility, in trust. We too can learn to bend. We can learn to meet life as it is, not as we demand it to be. When someone disappoints you, you have a choice: cling to resentment or accept that they are walking their own path. When a plan falls apart, you can fight reality, or you can pause, adjust, and find another way. The tighter you hold on to how things should be, the more you suffer. The moment you soften that grip, space opens up. Space for peace, for understanding, for growth. Of course, letting go is not always easy. The mind is stubborn. It wants to predict, fix, control. It wants safety and certainty. But life is uncertain by nature. The more we resist this truth, the more we fear. The more we embrace it, the more free we become. Begin simply. When you feel frustration, ask, is this something I can change? If yes, act with clarity and compassion. If no, breathe, acknowledge your feelings, and release. Over time, this question becomes a habit, a quiet compass in the storm. Letting go also means letting go of blame, of needing others to behave a certain way to feel okay. It means forgiving the past, even when it hurt. Not because the pain didn't matter, but because you choose not to carry it anymore. Because peace matters more than being right. In Buddhism, there's a phrase, let go or be dragged. It is blunt and true. When we cannot let go, we are dragged through life, by fear, by regret, by anger. When we loosen our grip, we stop being dragged. We begin to walk, maybe slowly, maybe with tears, but we walk. And walking, even one step at a time, is a return to strength. You may wonder, what do I hold on to then? The answer is yourself, your breath, your intention to live kindly. You hold on to what helps you grow, not what keeps you stuck. You learn to trust life, not because it is always easy, but because resisting it makes it harder. Letting go is a practice. You'll do it again and again, each time a little more gently. And one day, without noticing, you'll realize that you're no longer carrying what once weighed you down. You'll feel lighter, clearer, more alive. And that is the gift. Asterisk. 3. Be kind without expectation. Being kind without expectation is one of the most delicate and yet most profound paths we can walk. Kindness is like a quiet stream that can transform the world, not immediately, not loudly, but deep within the heart. When we act with kindness, we often hope for something in return, a smile, a thank you, or at least some recognition. But what if we let kindness flow freely without any conditions? What if we give it without tying it to outcomes? Only then can it truly flow in freedom. Imagine a garden. When you plant seeds, you care for them with the hope that they will grow into beautiful flowers. But the garden never promises that your seed will sprout exactly as you imagine. Some plants bloom, others remain hidden beneath the soil, some may be eaten by pests. Yet the garden never condemns. It simply gives, because that is its nature. Kindness is similar. It is a gift not bound by expectation of fruit. When we offer kindness only because we want to receive something back, we lose its greatest power. Our actions become like an investment with expected returns, not a free gift. But when kindness flows naturally from the heart, it transforms not only others but ourselves. Our hearts open, our minds soften, and the world around us feels more gentle. This is also a practical path to inner peace. When we expect our kindness to be reciprocated, We give others power to determine our happiness. If we do not get what we expect, we feel disappointment, anger, or sadness. But when you give kindness without expectation, you find strength and freedom within yourself. You become a source that does not need to be fueled by external response. This can be difficult. Our minds love to calculate and seek certainty. But kindness without expectation is like listening to silence unknown, unpredictable, yet full of life. It is an invitation to trust that every act has meaning, even if we do not see it immediately. That even a small smile or helping hand has the power to change the world, if only one heart at a time. Think back to a moment when someone showed you kindness without asking for anything in return. How did that feel? Perhaps surprise, gratitude, warmth in your chest. That kindness was genuine, unassuming, and simple. And this is the path you can walk every day, again and again. Sometimes giving kindness without expectation means being patient even with those who cannot return it. It means forgiving, understanding, and not judging. It is also kindness to yourself, accepting that you are not perfect, that you make mistakes, and still deserve love and compassion. Life is full of invisible threads that connect us all, and kindness is one of them. When you release it without condition, it begins to spread like a gentle breeze. It can carry heavy burdens away, clear pain, and bring hope and light. So whenever you have the chance to be kind, ask yourself, am I expecting something back, or do I give simply because it is right? And if the answer is the latter, allow kindness to guide you, not because you seek reward, but because you brighten the world and grow yourself. Kindness without expectation is a quiet miracle, a small act that changes everything. It is a path you walk lightly, freely, and fully. **** 4. Embrace patience like a gentle river. Patience is a quiet strength that often goes unnoticed in a world that moves fast and demands immediate results. But like a gentle river carving its way through stone, patience shapes our lives with steady, unyielding power. It teaches us to wait without frustration, to trust the unfolding of time, and to find peace in the present moment, even when it feels slow or uncertain. Imagine standing by a riverbank. The water flows calmly, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, but it never rushes. It moves with purpose, steady and sure, shaping the earth over many years. Patience is much like this river, an acceptance of what is, and a faith in what will be. It asks us to surrender control and allow life's natural rhythm to unfold. When we practice patience, we give ourselves space to breathe and grow. We learn that rushing often leads to mistakes, stress, and regret. Instead, waiting becomes an act of love toward ourselves and others, a chance to listen, to understand, and to prepare for what lies ahead. Patience is not passive. It is active trust. It is a quiet courage to stay present when answers are not clear, when progress seems slow, or when difficulties test our spirit. Each moment of patience builds resilience, deepens wisdom, and softens the heart. In moments of impatience, we often try to push life forward, ignoring its natural pace. But just as a river cannot speed its course without losing its grace, we too find strength by flowing with time, not against it. Patience helps us see that everything has its season, and that growth is never rushed. Try to remember a time when your patience was rewarded, not because something happened quickly, but because you stayed steady and open. That gentle waiting created space for understanding, healing, or a new opportunity to arise. This is the gift of patience, the power to trust life's unfolding, even when it is slow. So as you move through your day, invite patience to be your companion. When frustration arises, breathe deeply and return your attention to the present moment. Like the river, let patience guide you gently, shaping your life with calm and steady grace. ***5. Practice listening with an open heart. Listening is more than hearing words. It is a sacred act of presence and connection. When we truly listen without planning what to say next or judging what we hear. We create space for understanding and compassion to grow. Listening with an open heart means setting aside distractions and assumptions, and welcoming the other person fully as they are, in that moment. Imagine a quiet forest. Each tree stands tall, leaves rustling softly in the breeze. The forest listens to the wind, to the birds, and to itself without interruption or hurry. This gentle attentiveness allows the ecosystem to thrive, to respond, and to live in harmony. Like the forest, we can cultivate this kind of listening, a deep awareness that honors life's flow. Often, we listen only to respond. Our minds race, to form opinions, to defend, or to fix. But true listening is different. It asks us to be patient and humble. It invites us to hold space for silence, for feelings, for truths that may be uncomfortable or unfamiliar. It is a gift we give not just to others, but to ourselves, because in listening deeply, we learn more about the world and about who we truly are. When you listen with an open heart, you may notice subtle shifts, the pause before a word, the emotion behind a sentence, the unsaid meaning between lines. These moments hold precious wisdom. They remind us that communication is not just about facts, but about connection. This practice also teaches us kindness. When someone feels truly heard, they feel valued and safe. It softens walls, heals wounds, and builds bridges. And when we listen without expectation, without judgment, we cultivate patience and empathy in our own hearts. Try this simple exercise. The next time you speak with someone, focus fully on their words. Let your mind be like the quiet forest, open, still, and attentive. Resist the urge to interrupt or to think ahead. Just listen. Notice how it changes the conversation, how it deepens the bond, and how it nourishes your spirit. Remember, listening is not about fixing or solving. It is about presence. It is about honoring the other's experience, even if it is different from your own. It is about recognizing that every person has a story, a struggle, and a heart that longs to be seen. In a noisy world, the gift of genuine listening is rare and precious. It is a gentle kindness that ripples outward, creating more peace and understanding than words alone can express. Be the listener who listens not only with ears, but with the heart. In that space, true connection blooms. Asterisk. 6. Cultivate gratitude in every moment. Gratitude is a quiet light that can transform how we experience life. It is not just a polite thank you, but a deep recognition of the simple gifts that surround us, even in difficult times. When we cultivate gratitude, we shift our attention from what is missing or wrong to what is present and good, no matter how small. Imagine a garden after the rain. Each leaf glistens with droplets, each flower's color shines brighter, and the earth breathes fresh and alive. Gratitude is like this rain nourishing our inner garden, helping kindness, patience, and peace to grow. At first, gratitude may feel forced or unfamiliar. Perhaps your mind points to what is lacking or painful. That's natural. But even in hardship, there is something to be thankful for. The warmth of the sun, the breath you take, the kindness of a stranger, a quiet moment of rest. These small sparks can kindle a steady flame of appreciation that warms the heart. Practicing gratitude does not mean ignoring challenges. It means holding them gently alongside the blessings. Like a balance, it helps us see the whole picture with clarity and calm. This perspective softens anxiety and cultivates resilience. It reminds us that life is rich and layered, with joys and sorrows intertwined. Try to make gratitude a daily habit. Each morning, take a moment to notice 3 things you are grateful for. They don't need to be grand. It could be the taste of your tea, a smile from a loved one, or simply the fact that you woke up to a new day. Write them down if you like, or simply hold them in your mind. Over time, gratitude opens the door to contentment. It helps you live fully in the present, recognizing the beauty and abundance already here. It teaches humility and respect, not just for others, but for yourself. Remember, gratitude is a practice, not a destination. Some days it will come easily, and others it will be a quiet effort. Be patient and gentle with yourself. Every moment you choose gratitude, you water the seeds of peace within you. In gratitude, life unfolds as a precious gift. Each breath, each step, each smile is an opportunity to say, thank you. And in saying thank you, you invite more goodness to enter your life. ***7. Choose compassion over judgment. Compassion is the gentle bridge that connects our hearts to the suffering of others and to our own. It is an open invitation to understand, to forgive, and to act with kindness, even when it's difficult. Choosing compassion over judgment allows us to move beyond separation and into shared humanity. Imagine a garden where each plant grows in its own way. Some bloom brightly, others take longer to flower, some thrive in the shade. Judgment is like harsh pruning, cutting what doesn't fit our expectations. Compassion, instead, is the gardener's patient care, nurturing growth without forcing it. When we judge others or ourselves, we create distance. We build walls of right and wrong, good and bad. This division breeds frustration, loneliness, and often pain. But compassion dissolves those walls. It reminds us that everyone is doing their best with the resources they have, shaped by their experiences, fears, and hopes. Choosing compassion means listening deeply to others' struggles, to their joys, and to our own inner voices. It means recognizing that suffering is part of being human, not a sign of weakness or failure. When we meet pain with compassion, we create space for healing and connection. This practice starts within. How often do we judge ourselves harshly for mistakes, flaws, or past choices? Compassion asks us to treat ourselves with the same kindness we offer a dear friend. It invites us to be gentle with our imperfections, understanding that growth is a journey, not a race. Try this simple reflection. When you notice a judgment arising about yourself or someone else, pause, take a breath. Ask yourself, what does this person or I truly need right now? Then offer a silent wish for kindness and peace. Even this small act softens the heart and opens a path forward. Compassion is not about ignoring harm or avoiding boundaries. It is about choosing empathy over anger, understanding over blame. It is the quiet strength that can transform conflicts into opportunities for learning and growth. In a world quick to judge, be the one who chooses compassion. Let it flow through your words, your actions, and your thoughts. In doing so, you create ripples of kindness that reach far beyond what you can see. Remember, compassion begins with a single choice made moment by moment. It is a light in the darkness, a balm for wounded hearts, and a reminder that we are never truly alone. **8. Embrace silence as a source of wisdom. In the noise of our daily lives filled with chatter, notifications, and endless activity, silence can feel strange or even uncomfortable. Yet, silence is not emptiness. It is a space rich with wisdom, a resting place for the mind and heart. Imagine a still lake at dawn. Its surface reflects the sky so clearly because there is no ripple or disturbance. Silence holds that same clarity. When we embrace silence, we allow thoughts to settle and deeper truths to emerge. It is in these quiet moments that insight arises, often gently and unexpectedly. Silence invites us to listen, not only to the world around us, but also to the subtle voice within. It is where we meet ourselves without distraction, where we can discern what is essential and what is noise. This space nurtures patience, calm, and a sense of peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. Many spiritual traditions honor silence as a gateway to understanding. Monks retreat into silence to cultivate mindfulness. Poets and artists seek it to connect with inspiration. Scientists and thinkers prize it for clarity of thought. In silence, we find the roots of creativity and the soil of compassion. To embrace silence, begin simply. Set aside moments each day to be still. Turn off devices, close your eyes, and breathe gently. Resist the urge to fill the space with words or distractions. Notice what arises, the sensations in your body, the rhythm of your breath, the gentle flow of thoughts passing by without grabbing hold. You may find silence uncomfortable at first. The mind may race or resist. That is natural. With patience, the discomfort softens. You discover a deeper rhythm beneath the surface noise, a steady, unchanging presence. This practice does not mean avoiding communication or connection. Rather, it teaches us to speak and listen with more intention, to act from a place of inner calm rather than reaction. Silence becomes a wellspring we return to when life feels overwhelming. In silence, the heart remembers its own language. The wisdom we seek is often found not in answers, but in the stillness that holds the questions. Embrace silence as a friend. Let it teach you the art of waiting, the grace of presence, and the depth of being. **9. Practice patience like a tree. Growing patience is not simply waiting. It is the calm endurance that embraces the rhythm of life, understanding that growth and change happen in their own time. Like a tree that slowly stretches its roots deep into the earth and reaches its branches toward the sky, patience teaches us to trust the natural unfolding of things. In our fast-paced world, impatience often becomes a default state. We want quick results, instant answers, and immediate relief. Yet, much of what is truly meaningful healing, learning, relationships, wisdom, cannot be rushed. They require time, care, and presence. Imagine the tree again. It does not force its growth. It does not fret when seasons change or storms come. Instead, it remains grounded, open, and steady. It knows that its strength lies in the slow, steady unfolding, in embracing each season's lessons. Patience invites us to soften the grip of urgency and expectation. When frustration or restlessness arises, it asks us to breathe, to observe, and to remember that life's processes often move beyond our control. Like the tree weathering wind and rain, we too can find strength in stillness and endurance. This practice is especially valuable in times of difficulty, when healing is slow, progress feels stalled, or others do not respond as we hope. Patience does not mean passivity or resignation. It means active acceptance, a deep trust in the flow of life. Try this reflection. When you feel impatience stirring, pause and visualize a tree growing. Feel your own roots connecting to the earth, steady and strong. Allow your breath to slow. Remind yourself that growth takes time, and so do you. Through patience, we cultivate resilience. We learn to meet ourselves and others with kindness, even when things take longer than we wish. We begin to see waiting not as lost time, but as a vital part of becoming. And as with the tree, patience often reveals hidden beauty. New buds emerge. After long winters, roots deepen beneath the surface, and strength grows unseen. So, practice patience like the tree. Stand firm, breathe deeply, and trust the slow and steady unfolding of your own life. *10. Find joy in simple moments. Joy is often mistaken for something grand or extraordinary, but it frequently lives quietly in the small, everyday moments we tend to overlook. It is found in the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of birdsong in the morning, the gentle smile of a stranger, or the soft rhythm of your own breath. When we chase after happiness as if it were a distant prize, we risk missing the quiet beauty that surrounds us right now. Joy does not demand perfection or special circumstances. It is accessible, free, and abundant, waiting patiently for our attention. Imagine a child playing in a puddle, delighted by the splash, or a flower opening slowly to the sun. Their joy is pure and simple. unburdened by worries or expectations. We can learn from them to open our hearts to the present moment and savor life's small gifts. Practicing gratitude can deepen our experience of joy. When we pause to acknowledge the good in our lives, even in the midst of challenges, we cultivate a sense of fullness and contentment. This does not mean denying pain or difficulty, but rather balancing them with awareness of what uplifts us. Try this practice each day. Find 3 small things that bring you joy, whether a warm cup of tea, a kind word, a moment of quiet. Let yourself fully experience that joy. Let it fill your body and mind. Over time, these simple moments weave together, creating a rich tapestry of well-being. Joy becomes not just a fleeting feeling, but a way of being, a gentle undercurrent that supports us through life's ups and downs. Remember, joy is a choice as much as it is a feeling. Choosing to notice, to appreciate, to savor is itself an act of mindfulness and kindness toward yourself. So, find joy in the simple moments. Let them remind you that life, in all its complexity, also holds space for delight and peace. **** 11. Cultivate compassion for yourself. Often, we are our own harshest critics. We replay mistakes in our minds, dwell on shortcomings, and speak to ourselves in ways we would never use with a friend. Yet, compassion begins at home, within our own hearts. To cultivate compassion for yourself is to recognize that you, like every being, are imperfect, learning, and worthy of kindness. It means offering yourself patience when things go wrong, gentleness when you're hurting, and understanding when you fall short. Imagine how you would comfort a dear friend who is struggling. You might listen without judgment, offer a warm word, or simply be present. That same kindness can be extended inward. This is not about excusing harmful behavior or avoiding responsibility, but about acknowledging your shared humanity. When you practice self-compassion, you create a safe inner space where healing and growth can take root. It softens the voice of doubt and fear, allowing courage and resilience to flourish. Try this. When you notice self-criticism rising, pause and place a hand over your heart. Breathe deeply and say silently or aloud, "May I be kind to myself." Repeat as needed. Over time, this simple act can transform your inner dialogue. Remember, compassion is not weakness, but strength. It opens the door to greater peace and self-acceptance. By nurturing yourself with care, you build the foundation to care more deeply for others. So cultivate compassion for yourself. Be gentle in your journey. You are deserving of your own love. *** 12. Embrace silence to hear your true voice in a world filled with noise. Literal and mental silence becomes a rare and precious gift. Yet it is within silence that we can truly hear ourselves, the quiet whispers of our heart and soul, often drowned out by the clamor of daily life. Embracing silence does not mean simply avoiding sound. It means creating space to listen deeply. When we sit in silence, free from distractions, we open a window into our inner world. We become aware of thoughts, feelings, and desires that often go unnoticed. Silence is like the still water of a lake. When the surface is calm, reflections become clear. When noise stirs the water, the image becomes distorted. In moments of silence, clarity arises not just about who we are, but what we truly need. Many spiritual traditions honor silence as a path to wisdom. Monks retreat into silent meditation. Poets find inspiration in quietude, and nature invites us to pause and simply be. This silence is not empty. It is full of presence and possibility. Try to carve out moments of silence daily, even just a few minutes. Turn off screens, step away from conversations, and breathe into the quiet. Notice how it feels. What thoughts arise? What sensations emerge? You may find discomfort at first, anxiety, restlessness, or noise in the mind. This is natural. Gently return your attention to the silence without judgment. With practice, silence becomes a refuge, a source of strength. In silence, your true voice can emerge, free from external influence. It guides you with authenticity and calm. It teaches you to respond rather than react, to act with intention rather than impulse. So, embrace silence as a friend. Welcome it with open arms. In its embrace, discover the wisdom and peace that have always been within you. *** 13. Practice patience with life's timing in a world that values speed and instant results. Patience often feels like a forgotten art, yet many things in life unfold in their own time, not according to our schedules or desires, but according to a natural rhythm beyond our control. Practicing patience means learning to trust this rhythm. It means allowing life to progress at its own pace, even when it feels slow, uncertain, or frustrating. It is the quiet acceptance that growth, healing, and change cannot be rushed. Imagine a seed planted in the soil. It does not sprout because of force or haste, but because of steady nurturing and time. You cannot speed the growth by pulling it out or watering it excessively. You must wait patiently, trusting the process. Patience is also a form of presence. When we are patient, we stop resisting what is and open ourselves to what can be. We learn to be with discomfort without needing immediate relief, to face delays without despair. This does not mean passivity or resignation. Rather, it means active waiting, continuing to care, to act when necessary, but without clinging to outcomes or timelines. It is a steady heart amid uncertainty. Try this practice. When impatience arises, take a deep breath and remind yourself, this moment is as it should be. Notice the sensations in your body and let the tension soften. Return your attention to the present rather than the future. With patience, the mind finds ease and the heart finds peace. You become more resilient, more compassionate, both to yourself and to others who are also on their own timelines. Remember, life's timing is a teacher. By practicing patience, you learn its lessons and discover the beauty hidden in waiting. *** 14. Listen deeply to others in our busy lives. Listening is often reduced to waiting for our turn to speak rather than truly hearing what another person is saying. Yet, listening deeply is an act of kindness and presence, a way to connect beyond words and understand the heart of another. When we listen deeply, we set aside our judgments, distractions, and assumptions. We open ourselves to the other's experience, fully giving them the gift of our attention. This presence can bring healing, comfort, and trust. Imagine sitting quietly with a friend who is sharing their troubles. You don't rush to offer advice or solutions. Instead, you simply listen, holding space for their feelings and story. Your silence says, you are seen, you are heard. Deep listening requires patience. Sometimes what is most important is not the words but the pauses, the tone, the unspoken emotions. It invites empathy, the ability to feel with another, and humility, the recognition that each person's experience is unique and valid. Practicing deep listening also teaches us about ourselves. It reveals our tendency to interrupt, to judge, or to fix. Becoming aware of these habits is the first step toward changing them. Try this. In your next conversation, focus on truly hearing. Notice when your mind wants to wander or respond. Gently bring it back to the speaker. Observe without preparing your reply or evaluation. Just listen. In doing so, you deepen your relationships and foster a sense of connection that words alone cannot achieve. You create a space where understanding and compassion can grow. Remember, listening deeply is a practice, one that enriches both the listener and the one who is heard. 15. Choose kindness as your path. Kindness is a simple choice, yet it holds transformative power. In every interaction, every thought, and every action, choosing kindness can shift not only your own heart, but also the world around you. To choose Kindness does not mean ignoring difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It means responding with warmth instead of coldness, with patience instead of anger, and with generosity instead of judgment. Imagine kindness as a seed planted in the soil of everyday life. With care, it grows sometimes quietly, sometimes in ways you cannot immediately see. But its presence nourishes relationships, eases pain, and opens hearts. Kindness toward others is important, but do not forget kindness toward yourself. You deserve the same gentle treatment you offer others. When you stumble, speak kindly to yourself. When you feel weary, allow yourself rest without guilt. Kindness also invites connection. It breaks down barriers built by fear or misunderstanding. It creates a space where empathy and trust can blossom. Even small acts, a smile, a listening ear, a word of encouragement can ripple outward in ways you may never fully realize. In moments when you feel powerless, kindness is a path you can always walk. Choose kindness today, in thought and deed. Let it guide your steps and soften your heart. In doing so, you create a quiet revolution, beginning with yourself. **** 16. Cultivate gratitude in every moment. Gratitude is a quiet practice that opens our eyes to the abundance already present in our lives. It shifts our focus from what is lacking to what is given, reminding us that even small blessings hold deep meaning. ***. Cultivate gratitude is not to ignore difficulties or pretend that everything is perfect. Rather, it is to acknowledge the light within the shadows, the lessons hidden in challenges, and the simple joys often overlooked. Try this. Each day, take a moment to notice something you are grateful for. It can be as simple as the warmth of sunlight, the taste of a meal, or a kind word from a stranger. Let gratitude fill your heart and ripple through your mind. Gratitude softens the grip of dissatisfaction and restlessness. It anchors us in the present, where life truly unfolds. When practiced regularly, it transforms ordinary moments into gifts and deepens our connection to ourselves and others. Remember, gratitude is a practice, not a destination. Some days it comes easily. Others, it requires gentle effort. Be patient with yourself as you learn this art. As gratitude grows, so does joy, compassion, and peace. It opens the door to a life rich not in things, but in meaning. **** 17. Embrace silence as a teacher in the noise of everyday life. Silence can feel uncomfortable or even empty. Yet, silence is a profound teacher, a space where clarity, peace, and insight quietly emerge. To embrace silence means to allow moments without words, without distractions, without rushing. It means sitting with yourself, with your thoughts and feelings, without trying to fill the space. Imagine a calm lake, still and clear. In its silence, it reflects the sky and the trees with perfect clarity. Our minds, too, can become like that lake when we welcome silence. Silence invites us to listen, not just outwardly, but inwardly. It reveals truths hidden beneath the surface. Noise of busy thoughts. In silence, we can meet our deepest selves with kindness and curiosity. Practice. Find a few moments each day to sit in silence. Close your eyes, breathe naturally, and simply be. Notice any resistance, discomfort, or thoughts that arise. Watch them as if from a distance, without judgment. Over time, silence becomes a sanctuary. It calms the restless mind, renews the spirit, and deepens our awareness of life's subtle rhythms. Remember, silence is not emptiness, but fullness. It holds the space for healing, understanding, and peace to grow. **** 18. Practice patience with yourself and others. Patience is a gentle art. The ability to wait without frustration, to accept that growth and change take time. It is a quiet strength that nurtures peace in the midst of life's challenges. In a world that moves fast and values instant results, patience can feel difficult or even rare. Yet, without patience, we struggle against the natural flow of things. causing stress and suffering. When you practice patience, you allow yourself and others the space to be imperfect, to learn, to heal. You soften the impulse to rush or demand, replacing it with calm endurance and compassion. Imagine a gardener tending to a young plant. They do not pull on the leaves or force the buds to bloom early. They provide water, sunlight, and time, trusting the plant to grow in its own rhythm. Apply this same care to your own life and relationships. When difficulties arise, remind yourself, this too takes time. When you feel impatience rising, breathe deeply and gently return to presence. Patience is not passive waiting. It is an active choice to embrace the moment as it is, with kindness and understanding. It builds resilience and deepens our connection to the unfolding journey of life. Remember, patience begins with yourself. When you are patient with your own process, patience naturally extends to those around you. *** 19. Find joy and simplicity in the pursuit of more possessions, more achievements, more recognition. We often overlook the quiet joy found in simplicity. Yet, simplicity is a doorway to contentment, clarity, and peace. To find joy in simplicity is to appreciate what is already present without craving what is absent. It is to slow down and notice the small wonders of daily life, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the sound of birds singing, the softness of a shared smile. Imagine a simple meal enjoyed without distraction, a walk in nature without rush, or a moment of stillness just for yourself. These moments, though ordinary, carry a profound richness when fully experienced. Simplicity invites us to clear away the clutter, not just physical, but mental and emotional. It helps us see what truly matters and to let go of what weighs us down. Practicing simplicity does not mean renouncing all comforts or ambitions. It means making conscious choices that honor your well-being and the well-being of the world around you. When you find joy in simplicity, life's complexities become easier to navigate. You carry a calm center that is not shaken by external chaos. Remember, joy is not found in accumulation, but in presence. The simplest moments often hold the deepest happiness. *** 20. Live with open heart and mind too. Live with an open heart and mind is to welcome life fully, its joys, sorrows, surprises, and challenges, without closing yourself off in fear or judgment. It is a courageous openness that allows growth, connection, and true understanding. An open heart listens deeply, feels compassion, and forgives. It embraces vulnerability as a strength rather than a weakness. It knows that every person and every experience holds a lesson. An open mind questions assumptions and welcomes new perspectives. It lets go of rigid beliefs and embraces curiosity. It sees the world not as fixed, but as ever-changing and rich with possibility. Together, an open heart and mind create a space where authenticity can flourish. You become more present, more aware, and more connected to yourself, to others, and to the unfolding mystery of life. This openness is not always easy. It may bring discomfort or uncertainty, but it is also the path to freedom and peace. Practice. When faced with difficulty or difference, breathe and remind yourself to stay open. Notice any resistance or judgment and gently let it go. Invite understanding and kindness in its place. Living with an open heart and mind is understanding and kindness in its place. Living with an open heart and mind. A lifelong journey, a beautiful unfolding of being fully human.